Thank you to everybody who is joining me for the being present, the mindfulness switch around. Somebody is doing cold showers with me, so big thumbs up, thank you there. And everybody else who has joined me in this, I really appreciate it. For me, it's had its ups and downs, but it's really nice to know that you're with me in it, because that helps me on a daily basis to think, okay, I'm not just alone in this. There's other people along with me trying to make this effort to be more present in every moment. If you join me for this, share with me how it's been going for you so we can just kind of keep up with each other. All right, join me for some amazing mushrooms you might be able to find in your woods. Hello friends, I am out in the Wisconsin woods and it is a little bit past midsummer. You might notice something very special behind me here. These are golden oysters, an amazing wild edible mushroom. Now these oyster mushrooms are extremely productive. We harvested a huge bunch here yesterday. Just harvested a huge bunch here this morning. You can see these two are growing. These would be ready for harvest, but we're going to give them one more day. These are growing and will be ready tomorrow or the next day. And then we have some babies starting. These will just be a couple days off. Now I've been camping at times and been near a small cluster of these baby mushrooms, and they will literally quadruple, quintuple their size in one day. It's amazing to watch them grow. These are a delicious mushroom. It's very good for us. And I'm going to share how to find them today. If we're out searching for these, we're going to be looking for dead trees. We're going to find them on standing trees like this, but also equally on trees that are laying on their sides. They're not super specific about what species of dead tree that they're found on. In general, they love aspens, but we found them on all sorts of different dead trees. To identify these golden oysters, you are looking for a mushroom that is growing out of a cluster, not singular. If you look inside there, the stems all go into one mass. And this is usually the case. Next, look at these gills. These are called decurrent gills. And you see how they run down the stem. That's what decurrent means. They run down the stem. They don't have a clear delineation where they stop. These are true gills, so they're blade-like, unlike chanterelles, which vaguely have this shape, but grow on the ground. And you're going to notice some of the gills are very short, while some run the whole length down. You can see those short ones in between the longer ones. Next, notice this bright yellow color. People often ask, are there lookalikes to this? Well, there is a mushroom called the jack-o'-lantern. That's a bright orange mushroom, and you're really not going to mistake the color. These golden oysters also often get a little dimple there, right in the middle, where the stem attaches from the bottom. The feeling is very firm. These are flesh-like mushroom that have a firmness to them. Even when they're wet here, they are not overly slimy, and they feel like they're going to bounce back from my touch. Now there's a timing trick for these mushrooms as well. The oysters in general have a wide range of time over which you can find them. From spring deep into autumn. Some people claim to have found them even on warm winter days. But they really love moisture. So if there's a long dry spell, that's not the time to go out looking for these oysters. During the summer, when it is raining and then it grows warm, hot even, you're going to see beautiful flushes of golden oysters, just like these. The other trick to the oysters is that they have multiple flushes or fruitings of the mushroom throughout the year. So if you find a dead log that has, let's say, some really old things that look like oyster mushrooms on them, you're in luck, because you can wait for it to rain, get warm, and likely you will find more oyster mushrooms growing on that log throughout the year. Sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flushes I've seen on a single log. Here's some older ones. You can see that growth habit. They're all coming down together into one, but these guys are really old, and still that means that this is probably going to be a productive tree. And in fact, if we look up, wow, some beautiful oysters. This is an example of a really old one. I know that's not much to go on, but when you see something like that growing out of a tree, a dead tree, it might be worth checking out later on and seeing if you find some baby oysters growing. Here's a close-up of those babies, and you can see you've got a lot of the same characteristics basically as in the big ones. You've got them all growing out of a cluster. You see that yellow coloration, though it's a lot more pale in the babies, and the decurrent gills. And how do you use these? How do you cook them? You can cut them up and you can put them into a soup. They add a great flavor, or a stew. My family loves them fried in butter. You do a little bit thicker slices and then fry them until they get golden brown on some edges, and the gills will get crispy, but the insides will still be soft and moist. A wonderful, wonderful textural as well as flavor combination. Share in the comments if you have found oysters before, if you appreciate them. They are a pretty easy mushroom to like, but no, they're not for everybody. And especially, what is your favorite way to cook them? Love to you all, and we'll talk with you in the comments.